Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Dan. And today I'll be reviewing the American version of a Kung Fu movie called Phoenix the Ninja. Sounds a pretty cool title there. I'm going to be reviewing it because it is on my list of movies to review, folks. So yeah, I got quite a few movies to review and whatnot, just had to look through it. So yeah, a good chunk of it is obscure films anyway, from various directors, genres, and Rocky. Maybe gonna watch a kung fu movie with me one of these days. Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome. Yes, sir. Hey, buddy. Hey, I know you hear me. Why don't you get a job, huh? Go get a job. Nah, I'm kidding. You don't have to. So, anyway, alright, little buddy. Make sure I'll have your food ready right after this review. So, anyway, folks, as I was saying, I'm going to be reviewing this film. And, like I said, this is going to be the English dubbed version, of course. And that's the thing. It's really difficult to find the original versions of these films that came out during the years. It definitely be really complicated for a while. Yeah, this film was actually on a VHS tape, the English version anyway. Yeah, again, these films, the original 4 versions on VHS tapes. Oh man, that's gonna definitely be a pain in the ass to find. Just like finding the Japanese versions of the Godzilla films on VHS tape, which is rather rare, because a lot of times the English dub versions have been more popular because those were exported more. But, I guess it kind of depends where you go, I guess, you can say, on the store or whatever. But, I guess, VHS tape kind of has its own charm to it, but in some ways, I have to say that, judging from the version I bought, it just looks like the version I've watched kind of have a VHS picture quality, I guess you can say. So anyway, okay, with that aside, of course, as always, let's talk about the plot. So let's just get into it, shall we? The basic premise of this film focuses on this woman who's this orphan that becomes this master fighter to avenge her family, so to speak, and of course uncovers the evil monk's plot along the way. So the main actress in this film plays the main character, where she have to do lots of fighting, of course, and of course we get to see right in the beginning is dragging a corpse across the snowy landscape with, of course, with some dramatic music going on, and she arrives at this inn begging for a room to house herself and her mother, the corpse, but she just won't admit that she's dead. Just keeps saying she's sick. So it just turns out that something bad happened to her mother prior, and of course, the main character here was sent on a quest to find the white-haired individual who lives at this temple, high in the Jade Mountains. Somewhere there is like some sort of box containing a great secret, and it's our main character's destiny to get to a certain point, I guess you can say. So anyway, I guess you can say that's a little bit backstory on that. So I guess back to what the main character is trying to do, but the main character just get rather lucky with this hotel inn or whatever, run into only I guess slightly rude older lady who offers to store a room and some, I guess, truths, I guess you would say. But then the next morning, our main character finally buries her mother, and her quest begins right then and there. So, as she wanders the countryside, bumping into all kinds of further strange characters, individuals in a matter of, like fighting or whatnot. There's plenty of kung fu fighting in this film, of course, which I thought was pretty cool. So anyway, yeah, she, of course, would bump into various people, of course, and that's the thing, folks. That's one of the things I can say that's definitely cool in this movie. And there's also this, this individual who dresses up all in white, and it's called the White Swordsman. Who's supposed to be this kindly old man who adopts old main character as a daughter. And then there's supposed to be like a creepy monk who sits under a waterfall waiting for some sort of fight and whatnot. So, anyway, of course, like the title suggests, maybe a few ninjas kind of a thing going on here and there, like you might expect. So that's pretty crazy in its own little way, like you might expect. So, yeah, that's pretty much the summary of the overall story. I don't want to give away too much, obviously, so I'll just leave it at that. I like the fight scenes, of course. The fight scenes themselves are pretty creative in their own little way. So, I like the fight scenes, folks. They're really impressive. A lot of the stuff in here is actually quite impressive. There's quite a few moments I really thought was really cool. I know some people might complain that this film needs to have more ninjas or whatever. That kind of thing is bullshit in some ways. And then, but look at the character Kasumi from the Dead Life games. She's supposed to be a ninja, but she's kind-hearted, she's sweet, and she cooperates with corporations. That's not very ninja-like. And she should have like a school uniform, which implies that she went to a Japanese high school. Again, that's not really ninja-like. I mean, nobody complains about that. I mean, I'm sure there's a way to make sense out of that, I guess. But I just kind of weird that some people might pick and choose what things to complain about. I mean, I don't mind the character consuming everything from the Dead Life games. She's actually one of my favorite characters. I just kind of found out that, people's complaints are inconsistent. They would complain about one thing about a movie, but dismiss a certain character in a video game. So, I don't know what the hell ever. So, I wouldn't mind seeing her in a movie. Have a film based on her. Or maybe have a movie with this character, Zoel Hanoka. She's another favorite character of mine in the Dead Life series. I think she's pretty awesome in her own way. Yeah, have her own solo movie. But of course, make it have a good plot. Really, I know they have a good story, a good beginning, middle, and have a good 3-act structure, I guess you can say. With character motivations that do add up and somehow connect to everything, I guess you can say. And I don't know. So, I always like Kung Fu stuff, folks. Martial arts stuff. There's plenty of source material, plenty of storylines in which you can actually use. Or even Pei Cheng. Yeah, the way she looks right there, she really looks like she could have came from a Kung Fu movie. I mean, I know she didn't, but she could have came from, just look at her, she could have came up from one of these kind of movies. And I'm not saying she's based on anything, don't get me wrong, I'm just pointing that out. So with the hair, her dress, or whatever, I guess. But like I said, you can be a script writer or just a storyteller that if you like to write books, comics, or whatever, there's definitely plenty of material out there in which you can use to, make storylines and whatnot. Use whatever you can use for motivation. Video games and movies are alike more than you would think. So anyway, there's not really much I can complain about this movie really, because I honestly think that there's a pretty solid film overall. So that's definitely a good sign there. I do recommend this, folks, of course. And like I was saying earlier, I do like the fight scenes. And I do like how the fight scenes were done in here. They were pretty well choreographed overall. And of course, I did like the premise of the movie. I like the premise of the film. I thought it was pretty well executed. And overall, a solid film as a whole. Of course, like I said before, I'm reviewing the American dub version, so, the dubbing isn't exactly great, really. But, it's not the worst dubbing I've heard, but, it still left much to be desired here. But the movie as a whole isn't exactly bad. I recommend it for those who have not seen it because it's overall pretty good. You can actually find this at stores depending on where you want to go to. Unless when you go into Amazon or eBay and just buy new there, which I highly suggest. Just buy this from new. So anyway, this was pretty good, I guess you could say, because overall I like the way it was done. The fight scenes are pretty damn crazy in this one, folks. There's a lot of sword fighting, which I kind of like. I do like the fact there was plenty of sword fighting going on in this film. That's a pretty good thing there. Of course, the sword fighting was actually pretty cool in its own little way. And it did remind me of a certain movie I watched several years back in the theaters. You know, this one definitely reminded me of that to some degree. Which of course I don't mind really. I did like the soundtrack. The soundtrack for this film was actually pretty good as well. So I do have to hunt that some of the soundtrack was actually from the original film. How much from the original film? Like, I'm not sure exactly, but still, I like the music that was done for this film. I guess they're trying to keep as much as it could, I guess. So I don't know why they can't release some of these movies into, you know, Blu-ray or whatever. It just saddens me when there's a martial arts film that's actually pretty solid. It just disappears into obscurity, and hardly anyone would talk about it. So, I mean, oh well, I guess. But there's so many martial arts films out there. So it's probably you know going to get lost anyway because there's so many. But still, I would like to get the original unedited version of this film nonetheless, because honestly, at the end of the day, I thought it was a pretty good film as a whole. And I wouldn't mind watching this again one of these days, because I thought this film has some entertainment value to it, of course, as a whole. So, if you've not seen it as of yet, I'll say I recommend it. Like I said earlier, it'll get an overall rating of a 7.010. You could say 7.010 for me. And of course, as always, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time. Oh yeah. See ya, folks. Until my next video, I suppose. Yes, sirree.